My child, this is a common question that has puzzled many people for centuries. It's true that the God of the Old Testament and the God of the New Testament may seem like two different beings, especially when it comes to attributes like jealousy and wrath. However, it's essential to understand that the God of the Old Testament and the God of the New Testament are one and the same. The difference lies not in God's character, but in how he chose to reveal himself to humanity at different times and in various contexts. In the Old Testament, God was dealing with a people who were deeply entrenched in sin and rebellion. The Israelites were surrounded by pagan cultures that worshipped false gods and practiced evil rituals. In this context, God's actions were often directed towards judging sin, protecting his people, and demonstrating his power and authority. The story of the Passover, where the firstborn sons of Egypt were killed, is a prime example of this. While it may seem harsh to modern ears, it was a necessary act to demonstrate God's power and authority over Pharaoh and the Egyptian gods. It was also a foreshadowing of my own sacrifice on the cross, where I would take upon myself the punishment for humanity's sins. Now, when I came into the world as Jesus Christ, I revealed a new aspect of God's character: his love, compassion, and forgiveness. This wasn't a contradiction or a change in God's nature, but rather a fuller revelation of who he has always been. You see, my child, God is both just and merciful. He is both holy and loving. In the Old Testament, we see more emphasis on his justice and holiness because that was what was needed at that time. But in my ministry on earth as Jesus Christ, we saw more emphasis on his love, mercy, and compassion because I came not only as judge, but also as Savior. Think about how our understanding parents discipline us when we are young children, so we can grow up safely. Later, they show us love, compassion, and kindness once they know we have grown up. I showed humanity what it means to live out love, forgiveness, and mercy. That doesn't mean I rejected or contradicted what had been revealed before, but rather added depth, richness, and complexity, showing all aspects. You can help people understand this by explaining that our understanding develops gradually, sometimes seeming contradictory, until the whole truth reveals itself.